Hello, my name is Cornelis Vaughn, and for my marketing video, I am going to be looking at some of the fallacies found in the book Selling the Invisible. In order to do this in a more creative and interesting way, I thought what I would do is examine the marketing strategies of both Donald Trump and Joe Biden in the 2020 presidential election. Now, I'm only doing this to make caricatures of the individuals and to kind of make it a little bit humorous. Nothing I say is factual, it's all my opinion, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, so please take everything with a grain of salt and enjoy. For the first fallacy in this video, we're going to be looking at knowing what is ahead. Basically, I already know what's ahead. I know that I'm going to win this election. I won the last election, and I've handled Corona better than anybody could have. Of course, the people love me. They're gonna vote for me. The silent majority is the strongest it's ever been. And there will be no blue wave this election. Surely, the only way I could lose is if Biden does some sort of cheating, which I know he won't. I made sure of it. So there's no way that I can lose this election. I know how it's gonna play out. Now, the problem that Trump made was that he thought he could predict what was going to happen based off of things that had already happened. And unfortunately, you just cannot predict the future. There's too many variables. The next fallacy that we're going to be looking at is what I'm known for, the fallacy of confidence. All I know is how to be confident. I'm always right. I always say the right things. I always tweet the right things. And the people love me for it. They're going to vote for me for it. People love me because I'm me. I'm as real as I can be. Way more than these phony politicians. They could never be as real as me and as confident as me. When I say that we have the best numbers in the world on Corona, it's because we do. I'm confident of it. And when I say that I've been the best president for the African Americans, it's because I'm confident that I have been. It's true. Just believe me. The second fallacy that Trump falls into is the fallacy of confidence. Now, it is good to be confident, however, confidence can only carry you so far, and while it did carry him to the Oval Office in the last election, it just wasn't enough to rely on confidence almost entirely in order to win him this election. Now, for my first fallacy, it's going to be knowing what you want. You see, I'm pretty old. So I think in life I've figured out exactly what I want to be, and that's especially true as a politician. You see, for president, I want to be more of a centrist because I want to convince people that voted for Trump last time that they need to actually vote for me. You see, if I go too far to the left, like that Bernie Sanders, then nobody's gonna trust me. They're all gonna think I'm some sort of crazy old man. So I want to be more in the center because that's what's worked for me in the past, and that'll work in this election. I'll steal all the voters away from Trump, and I'll win by a blowout. And that's just how it is, Jack. The first problem that Biden makes is that he thinks he knows he wants to be a centrist. Unfortunately, there's not really any evidence that says that him being a centrist is what won him the election. He didn't really steal any votes away from Trump. He just got more people to vote. Now, could Bernie Sanders, a radical person on the left, have done that? Probably. Trump, a somewhat radical person on the right, certainly was able to do it. So this idea of he needs to be a centrist to win just doesn't really play out in real life. Now, for my next fallacy, we're going to be looking at the fallacy of science and data. Now, listen here, Jack. I've been working with all the top scientists, all the top researchers, and they've all told me the election's going to be a blowout. There's no way Trump can win. I mean, look at all the polls that have come out. Look at all the data. You can just tell. Plus, I know that the African American community would never vote for Trump. So, of course, no matter what I say, they're going to vote for me. I am the candidate of science and data. So in the time of a pandemic, where we need scientists more than ever, every American would clearly vote for me, the candidate of data and facts and science. There's no malarkey in any of that. The second, and in my opinion, more obvious mistake that Biden made in his election was thinking that he could rely on science and data in order to win him the election. For months and months and months, all of the polls said that Biden was going to win by a blowout. He was going to win Florida. He was going to win all of these other states that eventually ended up going red. And that's just because science and data is fine, but you cannot rely on it. It can only tell you so much, and in something as complex as an election, trying to rely on the numbers and data gathered from polls and the expertise of scientists just is not going to be able to win you the election single-handedly.